Hello everybody, and how are we all doing there this week? So my name is Andy, and welcome back to the next episode in this vlog series. So this week we are going to be touching upon dialects, so writing dialects within your writing, and sort of when and where you might choose to do this, and why you also might choose to do this as well. So this week I thought the first thing would be good to get off with just an example to have a look at how a writer has used dialogue and sort of non-standard English spelling to sort of transform the voice of a character. So let's get to it. Right then, guys, so the example I've got for you here is from In Our Mad and Furious City, from Gunaratne. The novel centres on three sort of young friends growing up in a sort of impoverished area in London, and is told from their three different perspectives. And there are also two other side characters as well. We also hear their sort of backstories. They've all got their own unique individual accents and dialect. So this one here is Selvon. So I'm just going to read a little bit out for you, and then we can have a little look in a closer detail. Football is on, but first one here as usual. Kiss my teeth. I step over to the side of the gate and scope out this square. We'll play long ways today, innit? Long ways and narrow like Highbury. Feeling it today. Yes, proper on it today. I swing my bag around to the front of my chest and pull out the football. Attacker's choice, innit? Slick. This one gives the extra jip. Ain't no better ball for worldies. Right then, guys, so that was just a short section from the novel In Our Mad and Furious City by Gunaratne. And as I was saying, each section in this novel is told from the point of view of different characters, and they each have their own very distinct accents and dialects that really transform how you read this character and how you perceive them, as opposed to them just being wrote in sort of standard English, basically. So let's just have a quick look at Selvon here and some of the bits and colloquialisms that Gunaratne uses frequently throughout to really distinguish this character. So one of them, even in that first paragraph that I've read how that is used twice, is in it. So he's got, we'll play long ways today, in it. So in it is sort of like a well-known street slang for, it's like an agreeable term basically, you would say in it, as like, you know, I kind of agree with you. He also says it later on in that section, attacker's choice, in it. Now he uses this frequently, and this is only the only character he uses with it. And it really creates a very distinctive image of Selvon in your mind. He's also done a couple of things here. He's chosen to spell it differently from how you might normally see this written on the page. So it's spelt with an E instead, so it's E-N-N-E-T, which really sort of helps him to separate him. And Selvon is a character in this novel which is very different from his friends. They are all sort of living in a similar setting, but Selvon is definitely someone who is driven and motivated to sort of get out of this. So just little sort of subtle bits like that really sort of to highlight him. And this also shows, guys, that sort of you don't need to do, when you come to think about writing accents or dialects, you don't need to do a massive overhaul of how the words are spelled or anything like that. You can just, a little phrase at the end like "en it," it really sort of, it distinguishes that character. You know, that is his personality. He says this after quite a lot of things, and we all kind of have these little odd sort of colloquialisms that we say after our words. So something like "pet" is used often quite frequently up north. You're right, pet, for example. Adding something like that at the end of your writing can really place that character. It doesn't have to be sort of complicated non-standard English spellings. So if we just have a look at another bit here, so this is a really, and he speaks a lot in really short sentences as well, which makes him really distinguished. So he's like, feeling it today. So rather than putting sort of how I'm feeling today, it just says feeling it today. Cutting down, you know, that is his sort of, this is how he speaks normally to his friends. So that's not being changed at all in this book. Yes, proper on it today. Sort of saying, yes, I'm feeling really good today, saying proper on it today. So the spelling of those words haven't been changed, it's the phrasing of them, and it's how we would normally sort of speak individually in that. So when we go into our writerly voice, we often become quite formal, and we often write, even when we write in dialogue, we often write in a way which isn't how we would normally speak. But what the writer here is choosing to do, he's chosen to convey that, of how these people, how these youths in this inner city London borough, this is how they speak, this is their everyday lives. So there's another bit there, worldies, that's sort of a reference to a really great goal in that. So there's all these sort of little terms in there that he's used to transform this character. And as I say, when you sort of think of accents, writing and dialect, you think this is, I'm going to have to change everything phonetically, I'm going to have to come up with like a whole new language. But start small. So my advice is start with that bit at the end of the sentence. So, so think about where you were from, where you were born. Is there anything there, any sort of colloquialisms that they distinguishingly use? So, like, for example, like is something that is also, I often say at the end of my words, my sentences. I don't know why, I just add it in there and that. But, if I was writing a character of myself, I'd probably have that in the dialect. And that is something quite unique. So have a think about, is there anything your characters would say distinguishing, and about the region they're from as well. So obviously dialects differ a lot in England from sort of county to county, So somebody who is from Devon or Cornwall might speak very differently to someone who is from up north in Newcastle or Sunderland. So have a think about, are there any sort of things they would say at the end of the sentences? Or pick out one or two words that you feel like you might want to change. That could be quite fun this week, guys. It is really, really a great sort of addition to your writing, and read it out aloud to yourself after you've done it in that, because when you read it out loud to yourself, it really paints a nice image in your head, and it is a great way to sort of enhance your writing. So why not have a look at that this week, guys? Have a look at writing a little piece, adding in an accent or dialect in there. Can be as small as just a little word change at the end of a sentence and just see how far that can go in changing your writing. Have a lovely week, guys. Great to see you all. Take care. Bye now.